Look who's back with us, Fox News contributor and former deputy independent counsel, Sol Wisenberg. Hey, Sol, we love having you on, especially for stories like these. We had a whistleblower. He's a former staffer from the Joint Economic Committee. He sent a complaint to the IRS. He says President Biden is breaking the tax laws, using a shell company to avoid paying Medicare and Obama payroll taxes. Now, we know this is a common move, but let's listen to what he's saying. It's interesting what he says. Watch.
Joe Biden deliberately underpaid his salary in 2017 and 2018. He used a loophole that, ironically enough, the Biden administration and the Treasury Department now want to get rid of entirely. In essence, he declared most of his income from book and speech royalties as corporate profits rather than salary to avoid paying payroll taxes on this. There's a lot of corruption between Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. I mean, I think it's ironic that middle-class Joe, when he wasn't paying his fair share and avoiding taxes, he doesn't care about it. He's putting his mansions over funding your Medicare. He doesn't care about the middle class.
He's saying Biden owes at least $127,000 in back taxes on his income taxes. So he's saying he's underreporting his income. What do you think?
Well, it's not the income taxes, it's the payroll taxes. But it's a lot of money. According to a piece in the Wall Street Journal in 2017 and 18, they basically didn't pay any payroll taxes on about $13 million in income, he and his wife, President Biden. He was not president yet. And how they do it is they say that it's corporation profits, the corporations they created when he left the vice presidency, rather than wages or salary, which it should be. It's very aggressive. Yeah. It's very aggressive. It's a lot of money. It is a very common dodge. It would be highly unusual if anybody was criminally prosecuted for it. But it does show up the hypocrisy factor. You know, Donald Trump, when he was running for president, could say, hey, I know how to game the system, so I'm the person who can fix the system. On the other hand, Joe Biden runs as the common man who talks about bringing down corporate America and the tax cheats. So when something like this comes out, it looks really terrible. It really does. Yeah,
and the other question is, do we need a special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden and whether Joe Biden was violating, tax laws via the income and money he was getting from Hunter? I mean, Hunter is paying Joe's expenses, possibly his loans. Shell companies are really murky. You can't tell where the income is from. The New York Post is also reporting Secret Service won't disclose who is visiting Biden in his Delaware homes. There's a DOJ probe into Hunter Biden for potential tax fraud and money laundering. And we know that the Bidens have been buying big houses. Could house purchases be a way of funneling the income coming in from Hunter's overseas business deals?
Well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, we're speculating at this point,
right.
But I've been saying from the beginning on the Hunter Biden investigation, from the very beginning, a special counsel should have been appointed. That's what special counsels are for. My God, this is the president's son being investigated by a U.S. attorney in Delaware. Delaware's favorite. The son of Delaware's favorite son is being investigated for this. And let's remember what he's being investigated for. He's being investigated for basically influence peddling, a guy who's totally unqualified for the jobs he has held, getting an enormous amount of money. And now we know that there are emails suggesting that there was a cut. Somebody was talking about a cut for the big guy. Now, we don't know who the big guy is, and that comment was not from the president himself. But the point is, it's a serious criminal investigation, and it should be handled by a special counsel. I think the tax dodge we talked about from the very beginning is of a completely different variety. That's just political hypocrisy. But the Hunter Biden thing is a serious criminal tax investigation.
But I'll tell you, it was a tax thing that tripped up Bill and Hillary Clinton during Whitewater. They got, their bank loan just wiped out by Madison Guarantee, and that's constructive receipt of income. They didn't report it on their tax returns. That was the hook that got, Ken Starr inside what was going on with Whitewater, and then that moved on. But, by the way, speaking of Hillary Clinton, what's your take on Hillary Clinton trying to get tossed out Trump's federal racketeering lawsuit for Trump-Russia collusion? I mean, the Hillary team is calling Trump's lawsuit meritless. What do you say?
I've told you before, I think the Trump lawsuit is a joke. It looks like it should have been written with crayons. It's going nowhere, and it will be dismissed. But that's not the end of the story for Hillary Clinton, because John Durham is uncovering and talking about in his court filings very serious scandal involving the Clinton campaign.
Do you think there could be a conspiracy charge there from John Durham against the Hillary team? Conspiracy?
Well, there already is a charge, as you know, against Mr. Sussman.
Right.
Whether or not he's looking at other people, we just don't know yet. But he's really made some fascinating filings. And again, it's the same story with the Clinton campaign across the board. It's let's leak untrue and damaging information about the Trump campaign. Let's try to peddle it to the FBI, and then let's tell the media that the FBI is investigating
and the
it.
CIA.
And now you've got a potential.
Yeah.
And now you have the potential spying, which everybody made fun of on the left, the spying campaign. It's now very clear that the Trump campaign was spied on.
And trying to get the CIA to do this, too. Sol Wisenberg, it's always great to have you on. Come back soon.